My name is Alice, so please, Your Majesty.
Off with your heads off!
Nonsense!
Consider, my dear, she is only a child.
Can you play croquet?
Yes.
On with it then! Get to your places! Where are the pellets? Off with your head!
Oh, what fun!
What is the fun?
Oh, like she, it's all her fancy that they never execute anyone.
What does one do?
Get to your places!
Where are the chess queens?
Under sentence of execution.
What for?
Did you say, what a pity?
Oh, no, I didn't. In fact, I don't think it's a pity at all. I said what for.
Well, they boxed the queen's ears. Oh, hush, the queen will hear you. You see, they came rather late and the queen said, oh dear, the queen hears me.
How can you go on thinking so quietly with your head downward?
It doesn't matter where my body happens to be. My mind goes on working just the same. The fact of it is, the more head downwards I am, the more I keep inventing new things.
Did you happen to meet any soldiers as you came through the woods, my dear?
A few thousand, I should think.
4,207. That's the exact number. They couldn't send all the horses, you know, because 2 of them were wanted in the game, and I didn't send the 2 messengers either.
What's the war about?
The Red Chess King has his whole army against us. But he can't kill a man with 13 hearts.
On to the next game!
Just look along the road and tell me if you can see either of my messengers.
I see nobody along the road.
I only wish I had such eyes, to be able to see nobody, and at that distance too. Why, it's as much as I can do to see real people by that light.
Wait, I think I see somebody now. What a curious attitude he has, skipping all around and wriggling like an eel.
Oh, nonsense. Those are his Anglo-Saxon attitudes. He only does them when he's happy. I must have 2 messengers, you know, to come and go. One to come and one to go.
I beg your pardon.
Well, it isn't respectable to beg.
Oh, I'm sorry. I only meant that I didn't understand you. Why one to come and one to go?
Don't I tell you, I must have 2 to fetch and carry. One to fetch and one to carry. Jeez. Oh, you alarm me. I feel faint. I need a sandwich. Another ham sandwich.
There's nothing left but hay now.
Well, I guess hay will do. There's nothing like eating hay when you're faint.
I should think throwing a bucket of cold water over your head should be better.
I didn't say there was nothing better. I said there was nothing like it. Who did you pass on the road?
Nobody.
Quite right. This young lady saw him too. So, obviously, nobody walks slower than you.
I do my best. I'm sure nobody walks much faster than I do.
You can't do that, or else he'd have been here first. Anyway, now that you've caught your breath, you can tell me what's happened in the town.
I'll whisper it. We're at it again!
You call that a whisper? If you do that again, I'll have you buttered. Or through and through my head like an earthquake. Come, give me details, quickly.
You can't think how glad I am to see you again, you dear old thing! Oh, you're thinking again, and that makes you forget to talk. I can't quite remember the moral of that now, but I shall remember it a bit.
Perhaps it hasn't one.
Tut tut, child, everything has a moral, if only you can find it.
The game's going on rather better now.
Ah, 'tis so, and the moral of that is, oh, 'tis love that makes the world go round.
Somebody once said that it's done by everybody minding their own business.
Oh, well, they mean much the same thing. And the moral of that is, take care of the sense, and the sound shall take care of themselves.
How fond you are of finding morals in things.
I dare say you're wondering why I don't put my arm around your waist. The reason is I'm doubtful about the temper of your flamingo. Shall I try the experiment?
He may bite.
Quite right. Flamingos and mustard both bite, and the moral of that is birds of a feather flock together.
Only mustard isn't a bird.
Ah, what a clear way you have of putting things.
It's a mineral, I think.
I quite agree. And the moral of that, there's a large mineral mine around here, and the moral of that is, the more there is of mine, the less there is of yours.
Oh, I know, it's a vegetable. It doesn't look like one, but it is.
I quite agree with you, and the moral of that is, be what you would seem to be, or, if you'd like to put it more simply, never imagine yourself not to be otherwise than what it would appear to others that what you were or might have been would appear to them to be otherwise.
I think I should understand that better if I had written it down, but I can't quite follow it as you say.
That's nothing to what I could say if I chose.
Oh, pray don't trouble yourself to say any longer than that.
Oh, don't talk about trouble! I'll make you a present of everything I said as yet.
Thinking
again?
I've got a right to think.
About as much right as pigs have to fly. And the moral of that is, oh, good day, Your Majesty.
Now I give you fair warning. Either you or your head must be off in that is no time. Choose wisely. On with the next game. How are you getting on?
Oh, I don't think they play. Oh, it's no use talking to you until your ears have come in. I don't think they play fairly at all. They all quarrel so, and they seem to have no sort of rules in particular. The arch I'm supposed to go under next is walking about at the other end of the garden. And I should have croqueted the queen's hedgehog just then, only hers ran out of the way when it saw mine coming.
How do you like the queen?
Oh, not a bit. She's so incredibly likely to win that it's hardly worth continuing the game.
Who are you talking to?
Oh, it's a friend of mine, the Cheshire Cat. Oh, let me introduce her.
I don't like the look of it at all. However, it may test my hand if it likes.
I'd rather not.
Don't be impertinent. Don't look at me like that.
A cat may look at a king. I've read that somewhere, only I don't remember where.
Well, I wish you would have this cat removed. My dear, I wish you'd have this cat removed.
Off with the head!
But you can't cut off a head unless there's a body to cut it off from.
Well, anything that has a head can be beheaded.
If there isn't something done about this in less than no time, I will have everybody's head off!
You better ask the Duchess about it. It's her cat.
It's a lie!
You better ask me. Do it if you can.
Off with the head!
It's gone.
It's gone? She's gone.
Where'd it go?
It went
Here.
under the eye.
Off with her head! Cut it off! Cut it off! I want it off!
Save me! Somebody! Oh, it's hard. Oh, somebody save me! I think I've escaped.
Who are you?
I hardly know, sir, just at present. The Queen, she's frightened me so, and I've had an awfully funny fall down a tunnel, or sort of well. At least, I knew who I was when I woke up this morning, but I must have been changed several times since then.
Oh, what do you mean by that? Explain yourself.
I'm afraid I can't, sir. You see, being so many different sizes in a day, it's dreadfully confusing.
You? Who are you?
I think you ought to tell me who you are first.
Why? Oh, come back. I have something important to tell you. So you think you've changed, do you?
I'm afraid I have, sir. You see, I can't keep the same size. At least, I've never been so small as a caterpillar before.
It is a very good height indeed.
But I'm not used to it. Oh, I wish you all wouldn't be so easily offended.
You'll get used to it in time.
Are you too big, or am I too small?
One side will make you grow taller, and the other side will make you grow shorter.
One side of what? The other side of what?
Of the mushroom.
Look out now, 5. Don't go splashing paint all over me like that.
I couldn't help it. 7 jogged my elbow.
That's right, 5. Always laying the blame on others.
You'd better not talk. I heard the Queen say only yesterday you deserve to be beheaded.
What for? That is none of your business, too.
Yes, it is his business, and I'll tell him. It was for bringing the cooked tulip roots instead of onions.
Well, of all the unjust...
Oh, would you please tell me which side to eat?
I don't know anything about it. Yours has been read. You put in here by mistake, and if the Queen were to find out, she'll have all of our heads cut off.
What's that?
The White Chess Queen.
Don't let her see what we're doing. She'll tell on us. Run out and stop her from coming here.
No, the other way.
But she's off here.
You can only meet her by walking the other way.
What nonsense.
Go the other way.
Well, this is dreadfully confusing. Why would I run away from her? She's running away from me.
The Queen!
Why, I'm just the size I was when I saw you last.
Well, of course you are. Who are these? I can't tell them by their backs. Turn over. I thought so. Get up. What have you been doing here?
May it please your majesty.
I see. Be gone. Ours to send the horses after you. Call the Queen of Hearts.
Queen Alice. Queen Alice.
Ridiculous.
Isn't this the 8th square?
You can't be a queen, you know, till you've passed the proper examination.
The sooner we begin it, the better.
Would you please tell
Speak
me?
when you're spoken to.
But if everybody obeyed that rule, and you always waited for the other person to begin, and they always waited for you to speak, nobody would ever begin. So that
Preposterous.
I only said if.
She said she only said it.
Well, she said a great deal more. Oh, so much more.
So you did. You know, always speak the truth. Think before you speak and write it down afterwards.
Oh, I'm sure I didn't mean.
That's just what I complained of. You should have meant. What do you suppose is the use of a child without any meaning? Even a joke has a meaning, and a child's more important than a joke, I hope. You couldn't deny that, even if you tried with both hands.
I don't deny things with my hands.
Nobody said you did. I said you couldn't if you tried.
She's in that state of mind where she wants to deny something, only she doesn't know what to deny.
A nasty, vicious temper. I invite you to Alice's dinner party this afternoon.
And I invite you.
I didn't know there was to be a party, but I think if there is to be one, I ought to invite the guests.
We gave you the opportunity of doing so, but I dare say you've not had many lessons in manners yet.
Lessons aren't taught in manners. Manners teach you to do sums and things of that sort.
Can you do addition? What's 1 and 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 1?
Oh, I don't know, I lost count.
She can't do addition. Can you do subtraction? Take 9 from 8.
9 from 8. I can't, you know, but...
Can you do division? Divide a loaf by 9, and what's the answer to that?
I suppose...
Bread and butter, of course. Try another subtraction sum. Take a bone from a dog. What remains?
Well, if I took the bone, it wouldn't remain. And the dog should remain. It would come to bite me. And certainly I wouldn't remain.
So you think nothing would remain?
I think that's the answer.
Wrong as usual. The dog's temper would remain.
But I don't see how.
Well, look here. The dog would lose its temper, wouldn't it?
I suppose.
So if the dog were to go away, its temper would remain.
But they might go different ways. Oh, what dreadful nonsense we are talking.
She can't do sums a bit.
Can you do sums?
I can do addition if you give me time, but I can't do subtraction under any circumstance.
Of course, you know your ABCs.
To be sure I do.
So do I, and we'll often recite it together, dear. And can I tell you a secret? I can read words of one letter. Isn't that grand? However, Don't be discouraged. You'll come to a time.
Can you answer useful questions? How is bread made?
Oh, I know. You take some flour and...
Where do you pick the flower? In the garden or the hedge?
Why, it isn't picked at all. It's ground.
How many acres of ground? You mustn't leave so many important things out.
Fan or hen? She'll be feverish after so much thinking.
Please, please.
She's all right again now. Do you know any languages? What's the French for fiddle-dee-dee?
Fiddle-dee-dee's not English.
Whoever said it was.
If you can tell me what language fiddle-dee-dee is, I can tell you the French for it.
Queens never make bargains.
I wish queens never ask questions.
Don't let us quarrel. What's the cause of lightning?
The cause of lightning is the thunder. No, I meant the other way.
It's too late. When you once said a thing, that fixes it, and you must take the consequences.
We had so much thunderstorm next Tuesday. You couldn't think.
She never could, you know.
Part of the roof came off, and so much thunder came in, and it was rolling around with great thumps and lumps and knocking things over until I was so frightened I couldn't remember my own name.
I should never try to remember my name in the middle of an accident. What purpose would it serve?
You must excuse her. She means well, but she can't help saying foolish things as a general rule. She was never really well brought up, but it's amazing how good-tempered she is. Pat her on the head and see how pleased she'll be. A little kindness and rolling her hair in papers will do wonders with her.
I'm so sleepy.
She's tired, poor thing. Smooth her hair, lend her your nightcap, and sing her a soothing lullaby.
I don't have a nightcap on me, and I don't know any soothing lullabies.
I must do it myself, then. Hush-a-bye, lady, in Alice's lap. Tell the feast ready, we've time for a nap. When the feast's over, we'll go to the ball. Red queen and white queen and Alice and all. And now you know the words. Just sing it through to me. I'm getting sleepy too.
Oh, what am I to do with two sleeping queens? Do wake up, you heavy things.
The trial's beginning.
What trial?
You stole the top.
I had a tar.
You've got to be tried.
I don't want to be tried.
You've got to be tried.
I won't be tried. I won't. I won't.
They're writing down their names for fear they should forget them before the end of the trial.
Stupid things.
Stupid things!
Silence in the court!
How do you even spell stupid?
A nice muddle their slates will be in before the trial's over.
That's a pencil squeaking! Cut it down!
Harold, read the accusation.
The Queen of Hearts, she made some tarts. All on a summer day. The Knave of Hearts, he stole those tarts and took them quite away.
Consider your verdict.
Not yet, not yet. There's a great deal to come before that.
Call the first witness.
First witness.
Oh, I beg your pardon, Your Majesty, for bringing these in. I hadn't quite finished my tea when I was asked for.
Well, you ought to have finished before you came. When did you begin?
14th of March, I think it was.
15.
16.
Write that down.
14, 15, 16, 45, right there's in the settings.
Take off your hat.
It isn't mine.
Go ahead.
No, no, I haven't any of my own. I keep them to sell. I am a hatter.
Give your evidence and don't be nervous, or I'll have you executed on the spot.
I'm a poor man, Your Majesty. I hadn't begun my tea not just above a week or so. And what with the bread and butter getting so thin? Oh, and the twinkling of the tea.
Twinkling of the what?
It began with the tea.
Well, of course, twinkling begins with the T. What do you take me for? Dunes?
Dunce!
Whatever. Go on.
Most things twinkled after that, sir. Only the March Hare said it.
I didn't.
Yes, you did!
I deny it.
Ah, he denies it. Leave that part out.
But what did the dormouse say?
That part I can't remember.
Well, you must remember, or I'll have you executed.
I'm a poor man, Your Majesty.
If that's all you know about it, you may stand down.
I can't go no lower. I'm on the ground as it is.
Then you may sit.
I'd rather go finish my tea.
You may go.
And just take his head off on the way outside.
Call the next witness.
Next witness!
Give your evidence.
Shan't.
Your Majesty must cross-examine this witness.
If I must, I must. What does your cook say the hearts are made of?
Pepper. Behead the dormouse! Get that dormouse out of my courtroom! Suppress her! Pinch her! Off with the whiskers! No! The Duchess! She's going.
Never mind. Really, my dear, you must cross-examine the next witness. Quite makes my forehead ache. Call the next witness.
Alice!
Here.
What do you know about this business?
Nothing whatever.
That's very important.
Unimportant, Your Majesty means,
Of course, unimportant is what I'm Consider your verdict.
Not yet. Please, Your Majesty. This paper has just been picked up.
What's in it?
Well, I haven't read it yet, but it seems to be a letter written by the prisoner to somebody.
Well, it must be that. Unless it was written to nobody, which isn't usual, you know.
Who is it directed to?
It isn't directed at all. In fact, it's not a letter at all. It's a set of verses.
Are they in the prisoner's handwriting?
No, they're not. And that's the queerest thing about it.
He must have imitated somebody else's hand.
No, please, Your Majesty, I didn't, and they can't prove I did. There's no name signed at the end.
Well, if you didn't sign your name, that only makes matters worse. You must have meant some mischief, or else you'd have signed your name like an honest man.
That proves his guilt.
It proves nothing of the sort. Why, you've not even met them yet.
Read them.
Where shall I begin, please, Your Majesty?
Start at the beginning, and then read on until you come to the end, and then stop.
Okay.
He's very smart.
Thank you.
They told me you had been to her and mentioned me to him. She gave me a good character, but said I could not swim. I gave her 1, they gave him 2. You gave us 3 or more. They all returned from him to you, though they were mine before. My notion was that you had been, before she had this fit, an obstacle that came between him, ourselves, and it. Don't let him know she liked him best, for this must ever be a secret kept from all the rest, between yourself and me.
Why, that's the most important piece of evidence we've heard yet. So now, let the jury
If
say...
any one of them can explain it, I'll give him 6 pence. I don't believe there's an atom of meaning in it.
If there's no meaning in it, that saves us a world of trouble, you know, as we need to find any. However, I don't know, I seem to see some meaning after all. Said I could not swim. You cannot swim, can you?
Do I look like it?
All right, so far. We know this to be true. Why, that's the jury, of course. I gave her 1, they gave him 2. That's what I did with the tars.
But it goes on to say that they all returned from him to you.
And there they are. Nothing can be clearer than that. Then again, before she had this fit. You never had fits, my dear, I think.
Never. Silence!
Then the words don't fit you. It's a pun. So now, let the jury consider their verdict.
No. Sentence first, verdict afterwards.
Stuff and nonsense!
Hold your tongue. I won't. Off with your head.
Who cares for you?
Cut it off.
You're nothing but a pack of cards!
Off with her head.
Cut it off! Cut it off! Cut it off! Cut it off! Cut it off!
Wake up, Alice. It's time for tea.
I'm late.
It is very provoking to be called an egg. Oh, Griffin, it's terrible!
Why is the raven like a writing desk? No room!
Treacle? Pepper? We're all mad here. Nay, no.
Who are you?
Painting.
The roses.
Good.
What fun! Bread and butter, bread and butter!
Speak when you're spoken to.
Consider your verdict.